Maybe he did.
All morning long.
Well, maybe he likes the heater
No,
on.
maybe, I think it's a third shift here. No, third shift.
No, I'll turn it off.
You turn it off?
Sure.
I don't know, the third shift control the station.
Yeah, but there's an off switch. Maybe that's someone's name.
It is. It sounds like a disease.
It is a disease.
Malaria?
Yeah.
Hey, Libby. Hi, Libby. Hi, Libby.
Hi.
I'm like the king of defending. Look, Texas.
He's
Can
in
we
your
have
seat.
any friends of?
Tyler's sitting
Five
there.
nuggets.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm getting well.
Yeah, that's where I'm
I mean, I can
Assigned
talk to
seat.
friend zone.
Fine.
You can let your phone charge later.
Yeah.
Chargers. Batteries.
Dang, I'm
Hello, y'all.
Good morning.
Hey, Mr. Wallace. Yo, You know why first period I went with Miss Ludwig? why? I Yeah. do not know why. Oh, she gave me a breakfast burrito
Breakfast burritos.
from El Forcero. Wow. Why? Why? Just to be nice? Or? Because I'm the son. That's cool. Well, good for you. Do you have any left over? It was bacon too. No. Anybody have Doritos?
Oh.
Yeah? Give them to me. He wants to cry. Those aren't Doritos.
They are.
Don't mess with them. Well, you have Doritos, Devin? You rose your hand.
He raised it.
Rose.
You rose your hand. Who the hell is your English teacher?
I don't know. Rhymes with Mr. Wallace.
He stole a hug.
So,
He stole a hug.
I stole it.
You okay, Tyler?
Yeah, great.
Where a kid can be a kid.
I still forget. I think your brother is. He's older, right?
Yeah.
If he's older, then why is he still playing Chuck E. Cheese?
No, my cousin.
No, he said your brother.
Because why not?
Your brother is playing Chuck E. Cheese. It's your
No,
kids.
he doesn't go there. Look at him.
You love pizza?
So funny, Mr. Wallace.
Hey, Mr. Wally, you should
This,
go to
this
John
conversation sounds funny.
Go to John Cole's pizza.
I need to put gas in my truck today.
You got a truck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It's,
Hey Tyler, how you doing?
Where's your
it's
wife?
technically my mom's truck, but like we have 4 vehicles.
Hmm. Right, she.
Do you have a license?
You
No,
are here from
I'm Mexican.
Dentist. Dentist.
Oh, if it isn't
Dentist.
Tyler.
right, but you're here in this period from whose class?
Paulus.
Paulus, got you.
So you're gonna
You're
be in
taking the test,
Again,
Ernesto.
Mr. Wallace.
So, no Nicole. Andrew. Hi, Samantha.
Whoa. I think that devil just came out.
What?
What?
Ernesto.
Yeah. Stop what?
Everything.
What do you mean everything? You want me to stop breathing?
Yes. No, I don't want you to stop breathing.
I mean, if it means I can go home and I'll think about it.
Okay, let me get her set up with her test.
Let's watch a movie.
Yeah, you said we can watch a movie, dog. What's so funny?
I can't.
Hey,
She's
Tyler.
testing.
So?
So Hollis, if you're going to listen to music, make sure that while you're taking the test.
No, keep it out. Just so you can eat.
Oh, I see what you're saying, the point you're making about
Well, just keep it out so you can start trouble.
Ernesto.
With Mr. Yeah? What? Why?
For the love of all things good on this earth.
Wait. In first period, I don't talk, and then third period, I
Tyler,
start
you
talking.
are, I'm assuming you're done with this? Or do you need to do something?
Smoke weed every day.
I actually got some for $5.
What?
For $5.
From who?
Have you taken this as did you need me to correct?
It's probably that bunk, anyway.
No, it's hella strong. I mean, like, it's in a bag, but if I take it out of the jar, it smells.
Did I?
Even if I open the top, it smells.
Oh, so you,
backpack?
okay, so you need me.
Why?
So you're
Gonna
done.
rob me?
If I wanted to, I would have done it a long time ago. How do they look? How does it look?
Okay,
Like,
so here's what we normally do though.
I'm not explaining to
I
you.
grade it, I mark it, and if you miss
just look?
anything, you can retake the
Like
ones that you miss. I don't give you, but I mark what you missed. Want me to do that?
You want a Listerine strip?
oh what?
Well, that's what we typically do. So that's kind of a good
A
section.
Listerine strip.
You got robbed, huh?
That looks wrong.
What? She was looking at me like she wants to fight Mr. Wallace.
Well, you probably deserve it.
What? Square up. I'm not gonna do that.
We were talking about that today, how you human beings,
I can whoop
especially
your ass.
teenage human beings, when there's a fight, you guys gather around like a pack of animals to watch it.
No, they pull out their phones and record it.
Right.
But they can't film, so it's like when they film it, they're like shaking.
Cause
I
you're,
know how to film voice. Nobody else does.
how do you know when they shake? You've done that before. You shake when you record.
When they record, they get hyped up. So
Tyler,
they start
don't teenage him.
Why not?
Just
You
don't encourage it.
I'm bored.
Yes, Ernesto.
South side.
I imagine you heard your dad say that.
What?
I said my ultra instincts.
Stop.
What's that?
I was so mad. They didn't. Wait, Andrew. Andrew. You watch Dragon Ball Z Super?
Jesus, I'll give you a pair of this.
No, I know, but you watch it every Saturday when they come out with a new one? Yeah. Well, not English, but I watch it in Japan though,
Yeah.
with subtitles. Like, I was kind of mad they didn't have one last week.
Oh, yeah. Episode 129. Yeah.
It didn't come out last week. It's supposed to be coming out this week.
Okay, it's all glory. What's that?
He's on drugs.
Hey guys, don't ever leave me in a room alone with Andrew. Okay, I always want someone, I'm gonna have a safe word. I'm gonna say, I miss Canada. And if you hear me say that, run back in here and stay with me. I miss Canada. Actually, that was a code word me and my friend. When I was at Humboldt, the group that I hung out with, if we were to say I miss Canada, that means there's so we say, I miss Canada, you see all these heads like, where? Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird.
But it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't use that kind of energy in overseas because we always do scripts.
We didn't have
I
phone.
wish I can, but
Phone.
because it's part of break.
Well, we had phones, we just didn't have cell phones.
You have to do lines and stuff like that.
No, back in my day, we didn't have any phones.
You like the brick ones,
You could flip them.
Was that a
I
real?
How's your lunch?
It was
Big.
No, it was
Remember I see you in the cafeteria? You bring home for working.
No, it's
Market structure.
How's traffic? How did not go?
Sup?
It smells like mint. Maybe because you ate this. Wait. It was mint. Oh yeah, you did taste it.
Because, no, it's not grading it for you, it's annoying, it's just the writing is so small. And just, this little dot, it's just, yeah! No, I'm just thinking out loud, here you go. All right, Vanessa, why are you sitting there? You need to be close to me, you want to hug? Just want to make sure that you can keep, I know your button, I know how to get you now. Just like you guys know how to get me. Hey, let's do rounds. What did you have for dinner last night? Libby.
I had potatoes, cast iron steak.
I have a question. Libby,
I'm not done
what are
talking.
cast irons?
You seriously don't know what cast iron is? It's a
Oh.
type of, yeah.
Oh.
Go for it.
He knows, I guarantee you, he knows what
I didn't know
cast
what it
iron
was.
is.
Potatoes, cast iron steak, and salad.
Right on.
I had an omelet with bell peppers, tomato, spinach, cheese.
Tomato, bell pepper, spinach. Oh, a veggie omelet.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Cheese? What kind of cheese?
The white one.
Jack?
Yeah.
Or
American.
Swiss?
I think it's Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese. Had the holes in it?
No, sweet. It was the other one.
Who kids about cheese?
Jack.
That's weird.
She does.
Thank you. Devin, how about you? Devin had quesadillas from Del Taco.
You irritate me.
Good. Good. You gonna throw shade on me?
I
Throw
am.
shade on you. Oh, I'm the master of shade. Go ahead. Give me some shade. Go ahead. Good. Just throw some shade on me. Go ahead. Somebody. Tai, you could probably throw shade at me.
What?
Throw shade at me. Just say something. Just come up with something. Just because I'm going to show you my shade throwing skills. Go ahead.
What does that mean?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, are you asking her to roast
Oh,
you?
shit.
Or is this what you do?
I don't know.
Just somebody come up with something. Dude, you should, all you guys do is ever throw shade at me, and now when I need you to throw shade at me, you can't
Give
come
us
up with
an
something.
example.
Seriously?
Give us an example. Give us an example. Like, are you trying to say like roast?
Oh wait.
Yeah,
What's
roast.
up, Trevor?
Where's
Is
your
that from Lucy's
Mine, you know.
attendance?
So everything you want. I walk in the door or task and say, go eat at 4. I'm kind of soon. You're gonna be the judge for a mac and cheese contest.
I don't like mac and cheese.
I love mac and cheese.
I love mac and cheese. What the hell's wrong with you?
I'll
What's wrong with you?
Who doesn't like mac and
It's
cheese?
me.
He said he doesn't like mac and cheese? Yes.
Okay, so hey, throw shade at me.
Do it.
Do us good.
Come on, Trevor.
He'll do it. You can do it. I don't know, just anything.
Anything.
You look like a home scout.
Watch this.
That picture on your house looks like you could be a burger.
Can I eat the rest of it?
Yeah.
You can't eat the rest of it.
I don't like
Okay, you ready? Do it again. Do it again. Say it again. Say it again. Come on. Do it, because I'm going to show them my shade throwing skills. Go. Ready? Do it. You look like just what you just said. Do it.
If you shave your beard off, you look like a lollipop.
Oh yeah, I know you are, but what am I?
Oh my god.
Huh?
You remind me of the
That's like third grade.
What?
You remind me of the Lorax.
What?
Already
You
made
know
my
what the
decision.
Lorax is?
No.
The Dr. Seuss character.
Well, I don't really. I don't know the name of the hell.
Wow.
Can you drink coffee?
That's Rebel Willie.
That's good.
You know why? Because you drink
You
coffee.
want to try it? Well, they got bow ties, and then I don't know what the others
I
are.
didn't. Okay, no. You
do not use bow tie noodles for mac and cheese.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
No, you
Delicious.
don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's
You
either
gotta
the shells
It's mac. Macaroni.
It's shelly
Yeah.
They
cheese.
have shells.
I know that.
I love shells.
I know that they have shells. You can do it with any kind of pasta. But I'm saying the
Did I
best
ask
is
you?
macaroni.
No.
You didn't have
Would
to
you
do it,
I just tried it. I like not the bow tie. I thought the bow tie tasted awful. I like the other, the spicier one.
This one's spicier.
Well, I mean, it had pepper on it, so I ate a piece of pepper.
No, I think that bow tie is spicy.
Oh, I didn't think the bow tie was spicier.
Can I have the Coke? 'Cause I can't find it.
Maybe right. And maybe you can eat the way they found first. I just
Maybe
wouldn't.
you're not a cook.
Maybe you're not a cook. What kind of comment is that?
I don't have any omelets.
Can I talk?
Dude, what kind of shade? That isn't shade. That's sunlight. Maybe you're not a cook. What?
Yeah, that's an accurate statement. No, it's not maybe. It's yes, yes, no.
Who? Did you ask for this?
Yes.
Do you know how many times I've gotten pencils or
No,
pens
I
for
just
someone?
have one.
You give it to someone, they go, why are you giving me this?
Throw that at her.
Alright, here we go. You said omelet. What did you have for dinner last night?
What's that? The cheese.
Yeah,
Oh, I had
cheese?
Grilled cheese.
grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's the only time I like American
Did
cheese.
you dip?
Only. Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Of course you did it in the soup.
Some people don't.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
what?
The grilled cheese.
Ew, I don't do that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's
I don't
nasty.
do that. My mom dips it in tomato soup.
That's yeah.
I hate tomato soup. What's the point of it? It's just like water.
Are you gonna start swearing now?
Yeah.
The other day.
Honestly, I don't know.
Jimmy, you need your eyebrow.
What?
Swear.
Tastes like shit.
Okay.
It's something you do in the bathroom.
That's like saying fuck is something you do with and just make it sound like
Oh, okay, bye. Oh, jeez.
You said to say that.
Trevor looks like a grin.
But like, is it different?
You said that after he leaves.
He heard you.
It's not that I agree with you, it's just funny that you said that. It's just like, that's,
So, is tomato soup like different types of tomato soup?
well,
There's
like the
globs of
canned
it.
tomato, they're like cream of tomato is like
Yeah, that's
what
nasty.
most people dip there. Now, I like to take tomato soup, and I like to take, stop that. And I like thin tomato soup, so I like tomato bisque. And I like to take basil and throw some basil into it.
What's basil?
Basil is a herb.
What is it?
So, have you ever had a
know what?
margarita pizza?
Yeah.
No.
So margarita
I eat
pizzas,
pepperoni.
well, margarita pizzas are pizzas that are made with basil. It's a green leaf, kind of looks like spinach, kind of. But it has a very distinct flavor. Have you ever eaten pesto?
I didn't take
I
pesto.
don't know what pesto
Okay.
is.
Hold on.
Pesto is just.
Pesto
Do you like
gizmo.
pesto?
Yeah.
Pesto.
Okay, you know the green in your pesto?
Yeah.
That's basil. They take basil, they grind it up with the olive oil and garlic. I need to sit here, so you need to either move over, or I'm gonna
The only
drink
pesto
myself
that I
over.
really don't like is like my mom used to make homemade pesto and the garlic would be so chunky.
It got awkward, didn't it?
The
Yeah.
garlic would be so chunky, I would like really try.
No, you gotta grind the
Yeah,
stuff
like,
up. You gotta make it
the
creamy.
paste.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like the big chunks of garlic in, or like you get the pesto, the basil stuck in your teeth, and you're like,
But
oh.
she had a garden at our house and she used to grow basil. So like.
I love basil. I love it on pizza. The margarita pizza, Tyler, it's no red sauce. It's just cheese, basil, tomato, olive oil, garlic, and boom.
Like a big smile.
Sure.
You haven't even got to the next person.
I know. It's cool. Don't start swearing now. I think a really good margarita pizza, there's two places there's, what's the place at 65th Street? Is that Luigi's? I think Luigi's. Yeah, 65th and Folsom. You know what I'm talking about?
But have you been to Roma's Pizza?
Roma, and then I was gonna say Roma's has a great.
Roma's Pizza has the best crust.
Get it, so I recommend if you go to Roma's, get it thin crust.
I go to Why? Why would
One
you
Speed
get
has a really
Why
good.
would you get thin crust from Roma's Pizza? I don't even try.
No, I don't like thick crust pieces. I like thin crust.
Yeah, I don't
Thin
think
crust,
that's
y'all,
y'all.
like stuffers.
It depends on what they stuff it with, but that's just too much. Like,
I don't know.
look, I like thin crust because I don't like too much crust. Or that's out!
It's your brother.
Samantha.
Yeah.
So,
I had
Yes.
pizza from like Hawaiian pizza and pepperoni.
and she didn't like it. It was undercooked. And what else? Guys are interrupting.
Cheesy
Guys
breakfast.
are- We'll come back to you, but you're interrupting
But
right
I put the pizza in the microwave. Heat it up.
now. Ernesto.
Yeah.
Oh, we shouldn't be sitting in Chris's desk, at her desk. Because or Sharon, will you please stop? It's a space issue. It's just.
I'm like, I'm going
No, I'm not, listen, it's not personal.
She bought the chair
Ernesto, it's not
personally.
personal, it's not you. It's anybody should not be sitting in her space, that's it. Okay, thank you. Thank you for not making it an issue. Alright, this is breakfast.
Oh. No, this is the story about it.
I think it's my turn to talk.
So,
Mr. Watt, what I had for dinner was, I was
whoop your ass.
Whoop your butt, not ass butt. Whoop your gluteus mega.
Whoop your cushion.
There you go. Whooping cushion. That just sounds wrong. I'm saying whooping cushion.
Have a whoop your cushion.
Hold on. She raised her hand. I said she could say.
I was my hand too.
Yeah.
Well, but you keep moving. You keep moving. You can't do that.
So when I was in elementary school, we had pizza day on Friday. And I swear to God, the pizza was not cooked whatsoever. The dough was still mushy.
Ew.
Okay.
And also had expired milk.
I can beat that story. So,
that,
when I was 20 years old, listen, when I was 20 years old, I had worked up in Alaska, right? And I came back to Sacramento and I needed a job. And I was just like, I had worked all summer, worked really hard. It's like, I was in no rush to get a job. But I was living at home, going back to school. My mom was like, you need to get a job or I'm kicking your butt out. So I was like, no, all right. So I was talking to one of my friends. So I had this friend, met her in a class. She's in her late 20s. And I was talking to her about like work, like, man, I gotta find a job. Do you know anyone who's hiring? She goes, well, we need a cook at the preschool she was a director of Grace Lutheran Preschool in Rancho Cordova, right? So I said, a cook? And she said, yeah, you want to be a cook? And I said, well, I don't really know how. I mean, I've never been a cook before. She goes, it's really easy. I have all the recipes. You just follow them. You're going to go to the store each day. You're going to buy the groceries. You do that like on a Monday. You do it for the rest of the week. And then you cook. So I said, sure. So my first cooking thing was to make tomato dumpling soup. And here were the dumplings. So it's real simple, right? I take cream of tomato, pour it into a pot, and then I take Pillsbury, the dough, Pillsbury dough to make the biscuits. And I break up the biscuits, and I take a piece of cheese, stick it in the middle, and I form it and make a cheese ball with it, throw it into the soup, cook it, boom, we got chicken dumpling soup. So I put in the milk. I had never made tomato soup before, just so you guys know. I'd never made tomato soup. So I'm watching the thing and I'm thinking, well, I gotta turn this up on high so I could like cook the dumplings, right? Because otherwise they're not gonna get cooked properly. So I'm letting it cook, and I'm thinking, what's that smell? And what I didn't know is like, because there's so much milk as you guys know that, right? You can put water, but the can says add 1 can of milk to it. So I'd add all this milk. Well, the milk was burning at the bottom of the pot. So basically I burned the soup. So I tasted the soup and I went, oh, wow, that tastes like crap. So I told my friend, I said, hey, her name is Jennifer. I said, Jennifer, I think I burned the soup, man. She's like, you burned like the soup. Like, I said, yeah, all the soup. And she's like, okay, we got like 40 kids we need to feed. She's like, just serve it, they won't know. I said, okay. So I served the soup, right? And I see the kids, and like, so I'm coming around, I got the pot of soup, and like, they're sitting there, and they're all like, oh, good, and I ladle the soup, and I notice as I'm going by, I look down, and the kids are like looking at their soup, and they're looking at their soup, and they're like, and there's this one kid who really, now, prior to this day, I had been like a yard duty person. I'd go out and like hang out in the yard with the kids and play with them, right? So I had this one kid, this one boy who was really into me. He's like, I became this like hero, right? He's always following me around. I could do no wrong. And he's sitting there and he goes, I think this soup is really good. And he keeps eating it. And I can tell that as he's eating the soup, he's like trying not to throw up, right? And I'm like, and I look at him and I can't remember his name. Let's say his name was John. I said, John, you don't have to eat this soup. I can taste that. And he's like, tears rolling down his eye. And his cheeks, and he's like, no, I really like it, Mr. Jason. And I'm like, okay, well, if you want to keep eating it, he keeps eating, and all of a sudden he just throws up all over the freaking table.
Ew.
I felt so bad. How the hell do you burn soup? I did. I burned soup. Yeah, so if you ever cook soup that has milk in it, so like clam chowder, don't put it on high, put it on low.
You're looking at a Russian soup where you like have milk and then
Yes.
you make it with like noodles and then you put like sugar in it. I've done it for it's so good though.
Yeah,
Like that's like the one thing I can do with milk and soup.
They do that with, I think, pierogies too. No, they're called something like barnyaki. Something like that. It's like a dumpling with cheese in it, and there's like a milk sauce. So Vera used to make it. Well, her parents used to make
Somebody can make milk and then like rice in it and then you like mix it and it's like, I don't know the soup, but it's mushy soup.
it. Mushy soup. That's what I'm going to call you from now on. That's so. You're not wookie, you're mushy soup. Hey, mushy. That's between he and I. Oh, are you jealous? Do you want me to call you mushy soup? How about if I call you soggy cereal?
Dumplings?
Please don't call me.
Panda.
Cheddar dumpling.
Call it sour milk.
In Kung Fu Panda, they have these dumplings. I want to try one of those.
With pretty kidneys.
Wait, do you know what it's made out of? Like something they
I've never seen Kung Fu Panda. I'm sure it's made out of pixels, right? Isn't it? It's an animated movie.
No, but it makes it so good. Like I
It's
just
probably like 1 ton, a dumpling, so they
What
take
is it
like,
made out of though?
well, usually they have, it's like flour, there's usually like a typical one, where they chop up like pork and shrimp and maybe
It's
some
so good.
ginger
Oh my
and
god, I'm
onion.
so hungry.
Ernesto, what did you have for dinner last night?
Fresh street tacos.
What kind? El Pastor. You guys know what El Pastor is?
Yeah, score.
Nope, it is pork that's marinated and grilled. But it's not carnitas. It is not one of my favorites, adobada. You know what adobada is? It's like basically barbecue
You say
pork.
Autobots?
No, adobada. Isn't it adobada? Isn't that the name of it? No, help me out. Am I saying it wrong? Because I always order adobada and people look at me, okay. And then I always get the same thing.
Well, it's 'cause we
Am I
are-
saying it wrong? Well, they might not care, but am I saying it wrong?
I don't care.
Well, how do you say it?
I mean, it's fine.
Well, how are you supposed to say it?
Doesn't matter how I say it.
How do you say it? I say adobada.
Obviously. What do you mean?
That's the pork.
Yeah, you're doing good. You want
Oh, no, that sounds like you're blowing smoke. Am I saying it wrong?
No.
Yeah.
Now you have me all.
I'm Mexican, but I don't speak
No, you're
Spanish.
not.
So.
Why?
What do you mean? Okay, can you do that? I don't know how to speak Spanish. So I
You're
don't
just
know
wired
how
on
to
that
say.
chalkboard.
What are people?
My mom's white and my dad's like his hand.
Listen, Mexico, excuse me, most of the people in Mexico, the last names, they're all from Spain. Remember? 1 second, guys.
Doesn't matter.
B14.
I-
Hi.
What? Punch in the neck.
Okay. Oh, yeah, he's been having a really bad. Okay, thank you.
Stop.
Hey, guys, listen up. Ryan is coming back to this class. I don't know if he's going to come in here, but please keep your voice down. He's very agitated. Excuse me, guys. He's very agitated right now, so like raising your voice up is not going to help.
Oh, I'm not also
Like, yes, you're going to like, oh, hey! Ooh! Hey!
Where's Victor? We should say fire alarm.
Don't do that.
It's funny though.
Well, it might be funny to you, but it's not funny to me. It's serious.
But it's funny. You remember that?
It's not funny.
You were teasing them about it. You said it 3 times and you were laughing.
Yeah, and I should. Okay. Andrew, what'd you have for dinner last night? Andrew had scrambled eggs.
I don't like scrambled eggs.
You don't like scrambled, okay, when we do rounds, you guys are not supposed to say, I don't like guacamole. You guys are being positive towards one another.
Just giving our opinion?
No, well, I know that, but here's the thing. Okay, now wait a minute. Hold on. Now this is important to me, guys. Listen. When we do rounds, excuse me, when we do rounds, we're sharing, excuse me, we're sharing with others a particular aspect of our lives. This is about communicating, it's about listening and speaking, and maybe teaching somebody something. For example, those of you who didn't know what al pastor is, today hopefully you learned something. Now you know it's some type of grilled marinated pork, okay? We are not here though, guys, to judge one another's stuff. I think it's very rude because I'm the one who's asking the question. It's not like you ask them, do you like something? And, you know, I'm asking the question. Excuse me, Ernesto, please. Stop.
Stop.
That, you know what I'm telling you to stop. So let's be positive towards one another. And like, I would feel really bad if someone said, I ate, you know, I don't know, monkey butt last night for dinner. Okay, well it doesn't matter, some people might eat it. In Mongolia, this is true, in Mongolia, a delicacy is ox rectum. So basically they ox butthole. Yeah, the muscle around there, and people eat it. Now, you guys might see it as that's disgusting, but the way I see it is, I think that's pretty cool. That, excuse me, Ernesto, that there are cultures where people don't waste anything. That they have enough respect for the animal, and they have enough kind of pragmatism that they're not going to let anything go to waste. I think that's something that should be like valued and respected. And also, if it's an important part of their culture, I don't think that we should be like making fun of it. Just so you guys know, I told classes this before, I'll tell you guys again. There was a study done by the USDA of calamari. You know the calamari rings? Have you guys ever had fried calamari in a
I love
restaurant?
calamari.
Okay, so let me tell you something. There's a study done. Tyler, they found that over 60% of the restaurant purchased calamari that they analyzed was actually pig rectum. It was pig rectum, it was not calamari. In fact, they say at most sushi places, in the same study, they analyzed sushi. They said most of the sushi they analyzed was not what the restaurant said it was. In many cases, it was simple. Well, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying in most of the cases, the sushi was actually tilapia, which is considered in the industry kind of a trashy fish. Has really high mercury rates, really high. Well, I'm not saying tilapia is bad, but what I'm saying is, if you go out to a restaurant, you order toro, which is the belly of bluefin tuna, which costs a lot of money. Like a small plate of toro, like 4 little thin pieces is going to be at least $10. You want to be getting toro, right? You don't want to be getting tilapia when they're telling you it's toro. So, you know, can you tell the difference? I can't. I mean, I don't know if the sushi that I'm getting at the place where I go, I trust the person that I get sushi from, but I'm not saying that the people know that it's not what they're buying. The owners of the restaurants might not even know. Okay. How many of you guys eat at IKEA?
I eat their cake.
Okay, you eat their cake. Do any of you ever eat their meatballs?
Isn't that a furniture place?
Yes. They're a furniture place that's famous too for their cafeteria. Yes. At IKEA? I have a question for you. Did you eat the meatballs there? Okay, so most of the meatballs that you get at IKEA, just so you guys know, are produced in a plant, I believe it's in France, excuse me guys, in France. where the meat was analyzed and much of the meat was horse.
The horse?
Horse.
Okay, then
Now, but here's the thing though, I mean, personally, I don't eat meat anymore, okay? But like to me, would it matter if I ate cow or horse? To me, no. They're both large, four-legged mammals that basically eat grass, they're vegetarians. They're the same damn thing to me. I mean, honestly, I don't think that, now, I know that people have a certain, like Chris obviously loves horses, but like, it's the same, it's like a pig and a dog.
Good thing she's not here.
I wish he was here.
I've said this before. Okay, hey, let's talk. Oh wait, we're not done. Scrambled eggs, how about you? I know what you had last night for dinner. Yeah, I bet I do. You had homemade beef soup.
No.
You didn't.
No.
All right, but
Angel
Angel
didn't either. It wasn't beef stew.
It wasn't beef soup?
No, it was stew.
Oh, it was beef stew. Oh, she told me it was beef soup. Over rice?
No, it was actually
Hey, excuse me. The other thing is when other people are talking during rounds, they have the floor and listen. This is part of listening exercise too. And you know that. Why would you throw, man, you have been a total snitch today. You like ratted out Skylar, poor Skylar. You see, you almost made her cry. Be a gentleman, man.
it was like the tender beef.
That sounds good.
Tender beef. Tender beef.
Tender beef. I don't know what it's called. It's like
Chicken?
it's kind of like steak.
Well, if you cook it long enough, so most people in a stew, just so you guys know, they'll use chuck steak. Okay, so it's like, it's probably the most inexpensive piece, but it's great for if you slow cook it because it gets real tender, it kind of falls apart.
Yeah, it was a roast.
And it's real tasty.
Yeah.
And it has like a high fat content, so it's like very flavorful. Whenever I make a stew, I use chuck steak.
Yeah.
In fact, I was funny that you mentioned that because I was going to make a vegetarian stew. And I thought, man, will it taste the same? I plan on it. I'm going to do it Sunday. I'll tell you what, I'll make it, if I remember, I'll bring some and let you guys try.
You should let it up. There you go.
Is it hot? Is it spicy?
No. No, I mean, and it's just a nice, like, it's for cold weather. My kids love my stews when I make it. My kids are like, oh, would you make like, they'll be like, I don't want to eat anything, you know, they'll come over. I'll make my stew and all of a sudden, they'll be hanging out in the kitchen. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? I don't know, my daughter especially, like, what's that? Like, get away. And she'll be standing there with a piece of French bread, right? Because as soon as I move, as soon as I leave, she'll take off the pot, she's gonna dip the French bread into the juice and eat it. I'm like, And then I come back and I'm like listening and I don't hear anything. I come back and there's freaking crumbs all over the house. I'm like, Maggie? And she's like, what? Pisses me off. Freaking like thieves in the night. Anyway, thank you, Stu. Tyler, Platts. What'd you have?
Chicken enchiladas.
Chicken homemade.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Green sauce?
I think so, yeah.
That's
Or
my
red
favorite.
sauce.
A good verde sauce. Did I say that right? I said it right though, Mom.
Why do you say that?
Verde.
Why do you want the orange one?
I don't know, I just like saying verde, just like I say, hombre.
Both tacos and guacamole and cheese are really good.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
how
you gotta have where those?
Have you ever had hoghead cheese?
No. Hogshead, like the deli, because I know Hogshead is a brand of like deli meats
Yeah.
and stuff. So they do cheeses too. I bet they're good.
I don't know.
I've had like Hogshead roast beef. I've had, see, you gotta understand, it's been 2 years since I've had meat.
Dang.
Almost 2 years, no, it's been a year and a half. I stopped eating meat about a year and a half ago. So I'm kind of forgetting a lot of this stuff, but like when I used to eat like that, like if I wanted to go out and have like a good deli sandwich, keep your damn feet to yourself. So when I want to have a good deli sandwich, I'll get like, oh, it's not high, it's boar's head.
That's all hoghead cheese.
Okay, well.
Like it's
I've
a
had
pig head.
cows
No, I know, the pig's head.
Yeah, it's like grinded and.
Oh, you're talking head cheese.
Yeah.
So they have it comes in a block and it looks like a bunch of like particle board, like a bunch of little particles of meat stuck together, right?
Yeah.
And it comes in a square.
Mhm.
And that's called head cheese. It's not an actual cheese.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meat and a lot of the fat, a lot of the gelatin.
Yeah.
And they form it into like a log, and then they slice it up and they serve it like bologna or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you can see like the little nostril and ear hairs in the gelatin. If you look closely. You like lengua? I love lengua, man. I was raised on it. Cabeza. You know what cabeza is?
No.
What does it mean? It means
Chickpea.
face. See, a lot of people, I don't know if you guys know this, my dad told me stories about my grandpa. When they were younger, they'd have a boiled sheep's head. They'd stick it out on the table. And he said that him and his brothers and sisters would all eat a lot of the meat along the Johnson. That's where a lot of the meat is. His father was the only one, he would take a spoon and he would scrape off the meat on the forehead. Because there was a bunch of meat there and he'd eat the eyeballs.
Ew.
That's disgusting.
Why?
Shut up.
It's like a chicken wing. Why wouldn't you eat a chicken eyeball?
That's disgusting.
See, this is what I don't want. But you guys, if you're gonna kill the animal, like, do you like animals?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't want to kill an animal unless you're gonna eat it, right? So, well, you eat
I
meat.
can't kill it.
Right, you wouldn't, but I'm saying, if you did, okay, shouldn't you, like, eat all of it?
No.
If you're gonna kill it?
No, you
Right.
save the skin.
Well, like, other
Well,
people eat it, but like.
Okay, that's fine, you can save that to use. What I'm saying is, shouldn't you use all of the meat? Instead of killing it and letting it go to waste.
Yeah, that's why they take off the face and stuff and put the eyeballs in the sockets.
See, the problem is, Tyler, in this, like, in American society, that we are so disconnected from the food, right? Like, where does food come from to us, most of us? The grocery store? It doesn't come from the grocery store. It comes from the ground, man. It comes from the land. It's like there's an animal running around. There's a cow, and it's being killed, and it's being gutted, and it's being sliced up and then sold to you. So I think that when we lose that connection to it, then it leads to attitudes like, oh, I'm not going to eat that. But it's like, well, maybe we should eat that because it's another source of protein and it's going to waste. Just so you guys know too, the carbon footprint of certain animals, especially cows, they take up a lot of land, they take up a lot of resources.
Noodles?
Menudo is making the most out of it, so most people would throw away like the guts of an animal, all the organs and stuff. Menudo uses the intestine.
They eat the tongue too?
Lengua, so if you ever go to a restaurant, a Mexican, you go to El Forastero, you get lengua tacos. Get lengua tacos, that's tongue. It's beef tongue.
It's really good.
And I think lengua is, well, okay, so question. What's the difference between a tongue and an eye? Ernesto, stop.
Stop what?
I'm trying to have a serious conversation.
Me too.
SID, economics. And food, how to treat your food is an economic issue, right? Why don't you go outside and try to catch it?
We didn't ask them what they have for dinner.
I have not. Daichi, what do you have for dinner? Forgive me.
Oh, that's it.
Sushi.
Where's the train?
From Shiga. Shiga.
Okay.
And what did you have? Nico.
Sounds like martial art.
I've never seen his face. I just noticed that.
Who's face?
The kid behind.
Nico?
He's hiding.
Nico. Actually, a very handsome young man, you know that? I think you are. You had a couple sliders from where? Carl's Jr. Alright.
We have talked.
I've never been
Sliders.
I've never been to
Small, kind of mini burgers, right? You've never been to Carl's
I've
Jr.?
never been to Jack in the Box either or KFC.
Wow.
Any of those places.
Yeah, I'm missing
Or
much.
Burger King. I've never been to Burger King.
Alright. I mean, to me, fast food's fast food. For dinner last night, I had tortilla chips, Ernesto.
What?
I had tortilla chips. I melted cheddar cheese onto them. I had it with salsa, and I had 2 quesadillas, and I chopped up some white onion, cilantro, and serrano peppers and threw those in my quesadillas.
So you can cook.
Oh, I can cook. Oh, yeah, I can cook. Today, I'm eating chopped up tomato, serranos, and white onion I fried up some potatoes. And I got 2 leftover quesadillas. That's my lunch today. I love this song. You guys know this song? It's by David Bowie. It's called Heroes.
My mom has
This is from the album Heroes. Great freaking song right here.
You should give him a hug. He's a big jerk.
I tried to give him a hug earlier and he got up and moved. Hey, SID. Throw something out there, guys. Economics SID. Are you finished, by the way? Can I have that, please? You're completely done. Question. Why would you come now? With like 10 minutes left. Why wouldn't you just do it there? No, Rita, seriously. Because here's the deal. I'm not mad that you're here, and you're always welcome here to take tests and stuff. But if you're going to wait till like the last, there's no reason to really leave, right? You could have just done it there or do whatever they were doing.
Maybe he meant she missed it.
Excuse me, please. Right? It doesn't make sense to leave with like basically 10 minutes left in class. Like I can see coming here at the beginning of class and doing the test, but not with, okay, there's 14 minutes left. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. So in the future, keep that in mind. SID, Econ, SID, or I'm just going to go through terms. Yes?
There's tariffs on certain elements.
There's tariffs on certain elements. I don't know what you mean by certain
Aluminum
elements.
and steel.
Okay, aluminum and steel. Why? Why is that important that there's tariffs on these metals? Excuse me.
Well, because a lot of companies make things in other countries.
Hey, can we put away cell phones, Daichi? We're now in SID for Econ. So tariffs. So what do we mean by tariffs, guys? What are tariffs? What are tariffs? No, tariffs, not turf. What are tariffs? And obviously, because we're talking economics now, what are tariffs?
Like a small
So
piece
take out your books.
a small piece of land.
Take out, that's a good guess, but no. Take out your books. Everyone take out your books. Turn to the back of your books. YouTube. And look up tariffs. Back of the books. You see. You think of a terrace. No, that's alright. It sounds like it, so I get it. I mean, it makes sense. Look up tariffs. It's Tarrif. I just spelled it for you. Tariffs. Open up your books, look at the back, look at the glossary, or you can look at the index. Why aren't you doing this?
Because I already know what it means.
No, I want the definition. You need the book definition.
Okay.
Look up tariffs. Excuse me, Taitanisha, why aren't you doing this? I want everyone doing this. Let's go. Take out your books. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Once you find the definition, point to it. Please call me over. I want to see that. Okay, you got it? Good.
Pay tax on import.
Now, what page? Everyone open their books and look at it. You too. Let's go.
G20.
So that when you guys, excuse me, what I'm going to start doing, guys, is I'm going to start, if we have SID and someone brings up a point, is there a reason why you're not being involved in this? Well, why don't you get up and get it? Come on. God helps those who helps themselves. Okay? So, if you guys bring up a question and I say, hey, what Tyler asked was, did you know that there are tariffs on certain elements? I think you meant metals.
Yeah.
Okay? On certain metals. Now, it is a tax on imports. What does that mean? Ernesto, what is an import? What is an import? What's an example of an import? Okay, obviously we're not talking about computers right now, we're talking about the economy. So, we would place a tariff on, give me an example of an import.
Oh, an example of this one?
Yeah. You guys ever been to an import-export store? What's an example of an import?
Spices.
Spices. So what does it mean that if you go to a store and you buy, say, an import spice, what does that mean? So you're going to a store, say at Carmichael, and what are you buying?
Saffron.
You're buying saffron, which is from where? Okay, so saffron, very good. Okay, saffron is used.
Really expensive.
It's extremely expensive. 1 second, guys. B14. Hi. Awesome. Very cool. Right on. That's cool. Right on. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, guys. So saffron is a spice. It looks like a little red hair. Okay, they use it in certain types of cooking, especially Middle Eastern and Spanish cooking. Have you guys ever eaten something called paella?
No, wait, I've heard of it.
Okay, they use saffron in paella. Yes,
It's the one.
the one I like.
Yeah.
The bow tie?
tie ones.
That's because you teenagers have no imagination.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys all
right.
like American cheese. Me, I'm very French. You know what I'm saying?
I was just-
I like stinky cheeses.
No, I changed
You like
my mind.
blue
I like
cheese?
this is a little better.
Stinky cheese.
Ugh.
It was Miss Blanchard. I told her what your vote was. It's so good.
Right on. Okay. Hey guys, so an import, now saffron is really expensive, so if I'm a saffron dealer, now saffron is grown in the Middle East, right? It comes from the Middle East. So let's say I live in Iran and I'm a saffron dealer. I want to sell my saffron to Americans because they're willing to pay a lot of money to put it in their food. So in order to send it from Iran to the United States, which I can do, and I can sell it there, the US government is going to charge me a tariff so that I have the right to sell my saffron in the United States. That's what a tariff is. It's an import tax. An export is when we send something out. So right now, Donald Trump, President Trump, put a special tariff on solar technologies, foreign solar technologies coming into the United States. Okay? Why would he do that? Now, if we put a tariff, if we raise the tariff, the price, will that encourage trade?
No.
No, it wouldn't encourage trade. It might discourage it. Or if it doesn't discourage trade, like, let's say, okay, I want to send, again, I'm a foreign saffron dealer and I want to send it to the United States, and Ernesto is the president, and he says, we're going to raise the tariffs on saffron. Am I going to be okay with that? So what am I going to do? I have one of two options. What are they? What are my two options?
More now?
What's that?
More now?
Oh, no. I'm the foreigner. I'm not. Yeah.
Lower the prices.
So, well, I would lower the prices of my saffron. If I have to pay higher tariffs, that's cutting into my profit. So what would I do? You went like this. So what are you doing with it? You're raising. So I have to raise prices. Now, if I raise the prices of saffron, which is already expensive, would that discourage you Americans from buying it?
Yeah.
Okay. Or I can do what? Besides raising prices, what can I do?
Not so.
Say, screw you guys. I'm not going to sell. In fact, I'll tell you what. When you want to send Ford cars to China, and we got a huge developing middle class, and we're buying up a lot of cars, we're not going to buy Ford cars. We'll buy Volkswagens from Germany. They have lower tariffs. They're not going to play these games with us. You guys see how this stuff can kind of work?
Yeah.
Okay? So the metals, one of the things is that if they're raising tariffs on metals, it's probably to encourage what in the United States?
More manufacturing.
More manufacturing, that we create, that we harvest our own natural resources, open up steel mills. You guys know that the football team, the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you know why they're called the Pittsburgh Steelers? Because Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, called Three Rivers Stadium, used to sit on in Pittsburgh. It was a big steel town, so a lot of the steel that went into cars, into battleships, into airplanes during World War I, World War II, a lot of it was produced in Pittsburgh. They have what they call coke mills. Coke was this other material. What they would do is they would take it, they would melt it down, mix it with the steel, then it would like be a much more hardened metal. So when they flatten that out, they make it thinner, and then that becomes the body of the car. It's just, you know, it's something that's safe to drive in. Ernesto, I'm gonna kick you out, man. Don't make me kick you out. Okay. You want me to kick you out? Come on. You're making me kick you out. You're gonna go? Well, at least I got a hug earlier. Tell Mrs. Ludwig I said hi, okay? Ask her, how come I didn't get a burrito too? Alright. You know, you're not being kicked out. There goes my bookie. Okay? That's why the Pittsburgh Steelers are called the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, here's the thing. A lot of those mills, they closed. Because they cost a lot, because mill owners might say because the unions got involved. And the unions negotiated wages that we can't sustain. They're cutting into our profits. So guess what? We no longer produce that much steel. You know where it comes from? You guys know. China, Korea, countries like that, especially China and Korea. We get a lot of our steel, a lot of our concrete comes from Korea. And China. Could we produce it ourselves? Yeah. But if we produce it ourselves, factories here, they have to adhere to really strict environmental standards. They have high taxes. So that was the promise of President Trump is, hey, we'll raise the tariffs on foreign imports to discourage that, and we'll get rid of certain environmental regulations. We'll control the EPA, and we'll make taxes. We'll give companies here in America bigger tax incentives, tax breaks, so that we start manufacturing here in America, which is great for Americans, right? It's great for our economy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these could have some very positive impacts, but along with those impacts come things like more environmental pollution, if that happens. You know, it might mean we're going to be paying higher prices for things. It could. We'll see. Because right now we know some of the items that we get from China are really inexpensive. You guys remember we talked about that? Because in those countries they don't have such a stringent regulations and rules and stuff, so they could produce it. Especially labor is a huge cost, guys. If I'm a plant, so if I'm building chairs and you guys are all working for me, a lot of my profits are going to go to paying you guys. Or a lot of the money that I get for selling chairs are going to go to paying you guys, paying for your health insurance, paying for your disability insurance, paying you guys your wages. And then after a year you're working for me, you're probably going to want a raise or you're going to go work somewhere else. I got to give you a raise. Oh, let's say Andrew goes to college and he comes back and says, I want to be a manager. Now I got to pay him even more, maybe double his wage to be a manager. And each year the prices of my utilities go up. Costs more electricity, so my profits are constantly being eaten away at. Who pays when my profits are eaten away? Who pays? The consumer. If you want a chair, now all of a sudden you're not buying this desk at say $25 a pop. Next year it might be $28 a pop. And let's say trees become more scarce. Something happens in the timber industry. Guess what happens to the price of this chair? Might jump up from $28 to $32 a pop. You guys know what happened to avocados last year? Some restaurants stopped selling avocados last year. Some Mexican restaurants stopped selling guacamole because avocados, the prices of avocados, they had a really bad last year avocado harvest in Mexico. Many of the avocados that we sell here for cheap are grown in Mexico. And they have a really bad harvest, and so prices for avocados shot through the roof. So restaurants have usually, they're like, we can't sell this guacamole. Yes, because guacamole, avocados are really expensive. You know, they cost X amount of dollars a pound. Have you ever told an avocado? I mean, they're pretty heavy. Cilantro goes up to $10 a pound. Cilantro is still going to be really high. you gotta have a lot of cilantro. Hey guys, have a wonderful weekend. Be safe. Be kind. Make good choices. Let me lay off the pot. Bye. Nice pants, by the way. Yes, sir. You like it? I think it's my Yola Tango radio.